You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
Because of the following special program, Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
I got Bantha.
It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file.
That doesn't sound too hard.
Boom! This is Making Tracks.
This is the way.
Here are your hosts, Mark Newbold and Mark Mulcaster.
I know these people. They are brutal. Does this look Jedi to you?
That's not how the Force works.
They'll never see it coming.
Count me in.
You're listening to Making Tracks. I'm your co-host, Mark Newbold, and joining me today is the man who puts ooh-ah in swarve. It's Mark Mulcaster. Mark, how you doing, man?
Bonjour. I was all geared up for some kind of French Euro put down.
I know. You think I'm going left, I turn right. I mean,
what a swerve ball.
Exactly.
How you doing?
How are you? I'm good. Did you have a good time at, as you call it, Euro Disney, as everybody else calls it, Disneyland Paris?
Yes, I had an absolutely fantastic time. So we went out for 3 days to... I'm just going to keep on calling it Euro Disney.
I know you are.
And I don't know why, because when you think about it, Euro Disney opened in like 92 and then they renamed it to like Disneyland Paris in like 94. So it was only Euro Disney for 2 years.
Yes.
Yet for some reason, it's kind of stuck. So yes, I was
That's good marketing though, isn't it, if you think about it?
It's great marketing. But from what I understand, that's basically what happened. They found out that Euro Disney didn't really necessarily resonate with the locals. They also wanted to tie it more to like their whole kind of like romantic image of Paris.
True. Even though it's nowhere near Paris really, is it?
Not really. No, I mean, it's a good hour or so's drive, like limo drive from the train station. But yeah, we had a fantastic time. It was fairly decent weather. We were lucky actually for time of year, and it was pretty darn cold Sunday afternoon. Yeah. But the rest of the time it was all right. We stayed in one of our hotels, so we got the Magic Hour access, and then we paid for a Premier access ticket as well, so we got on the fast track. And so it just meant we just smashed all the rides. We did like Star Tours 3 times. We basically did all the big rides like at least 3 times. And that was like me and Karen and my good friend Mandalorian Lily and Rich. They are the co-owners of Siphonalia, who make fantastic sci-fi 3D printed merch, which is fantastic. So it was Rich's 50th birthday. So we were like, let's go out, let's do it. I'd never been. Karen, I don't think I'd ever been to Disneyland Paris. Only myself had been once before. So it was all fun, all very exciting. And yeah, we had a fantastic time. And of course, I brought some Star Wars merch.
Oh, what did you get?
So, went to Star Tours. So, first time that I've ridden let's call it the new, quote unquote, because it's been around for, I don't know, good 8 years or so. Star Tours Adventure Continues. The last time I went to Disneyland Paris was on Christmas Day, and it was still the original version. So, they were still playing it off of a projector, off of like film and stuff. It was, crazy. So it's the first time we did that, and we got like 3 different eras of branching. So, we got OT, sequel and prequel era, plus a little bit of Ahsoka mixed in as well. Met Darth Vader and Din Djarin, which was cool. And yeah, went to the Star Tours boutique. And actually, to be fair, slightly disappointed, if I'm honest. How can I put this? There was lots of merch, but obviously there's quite a bit of Grogu merch there already. There's a lot of kind of like greens and kind of earth tones. But no disrespect to some of the probably Disney merch designers, but it's kind of slightly more Disney-fied. So it's more kind of cartoony, some of the apparel and stuff. So I only picked up 1 T-shirt. Did pick up quite randomly because I saw it and it caught my eye. I picked up the dagger that Ochi of Best Doom, the Wayfinder dagger, which was kind of a bit random because it caught my eye because it's like, what's a Klingon Daktak doing in the Disney store? But then I went, oh yeah, actually, hang on a sec. It has a little pull-out thingy at the bottom, the kind of compass bit, and that kind of lights up. So I got that. For those who managed to either get to a Disney store or have looked online, on May the 4th, Disney released 2 statues. I've got the Darth Vader one behind me, where he's kind of sat on his throne. But also they did this Yoda statue, sat on like a tree stump, which I saw at the Disney store, but I was kind of slightly more pulled to the Darth Vader one at that time. But they had it there, and so I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to buy it. So I picked it up, plus some other bits and bobs and, fiddly key rings and stuff. So yeah, a fairly decent pre-Christmas Star Wars haul. So I can't complain really, but not too shabby, but not a huge amount in the grand scheme of things in terms of like Star Wars actually in the park. There's loads of stores, but there's not a huge amount of variation in the stuff. Like if you go to Star Wars Boutique, then that's basically everything that you're going to see anywhere else. I built a droid as well because why not? Little Hasbro droid, so that's kind of cool. Fantastic weekend. How about you? How's your week in Star Wars been?
My week in Star Wars has been very busy. Obviously, it's out there now that Insider's finishing, so we're working on the last couple of issues of that. So I've been working on 3 articles for that. Nice. And ILM Skywalker stuff as well. So there's different articles going around there. So it went from famine to feast in the sense of I had 1 article to work on, then all of a sudden I had 6 articles to work on, and I was supposed to do an interview with somebody who worked on Wicked for Good, and that had to be rescheduled. And whilst I was very much looking forward to speaking to this person, I was actually quite pleased that they weren't able to make the date, because I thought, I don't know if I can can cope with the bandwidth of another article right now. So everything's ticking over nicely. I'm halfway through my sort of backlog, and Fantha's ticking over nicely, and everyone has got either tickly coughs like me, or if you saw Good Morning Tatooine on Sunday, you'll have heard or seen Brian and Paul literally dying as they struggled their way through the episode. I felt for them both. So, apart from that, I feel great, and I'm ready to launch into some news. We've got loads of interviews.
Let's do it.
So we're going to head back to November and Smugglers Star Wars weekend, where a load of guests, 35 in total, came down and entertained the crowd. And amongst those people was Alistair MacKenzie. Alistair was Perrin Further in seasons 1 and 2 of Andor, and I had a good fortune to have a quick catch-up with Alistair. So we're in Surrey at Smugglers. I'm here with Alistair. How has the day gone for you so far?
Well, do you know what? Full disclosure, this is my first one.
Oh, right.
And I'm pleasantly surprised. I was slightly anxious about it because I wondered if, what it was going to be like, and it's been amazing.
What were your expectations? Because Star Wars is such a beast, and with a vociferous, noisy fandom.
Yeah.
You come to an event and you're front-facing people, so you're right on the sort of the edge of it, the other side of the table. What were your expectations of what today might be?
Well, I didn't really. I think it was more that I just didn't have a clue what it was going to be. Yeah. So I was just concerned about what would come up with. But what's been so amazing is meeting all these people, and they're so appreciative, and they just love this show, and I'm so proud of any kind of involvement in it. So I feel very honoured and flattered to be here.
How did the role come to you? Because Star Wars is such a beast. It's been around for nearly 50 years, and actors who've not been in Star Wars may have an expectation of what they will be doing when they enter the galaxy far, far away. But Andor is such a unique thing. So what were your expectations when you went in?
Well, I mean, the process, as you probably know, is everything's very secretive because they don't want to reveal anything. I got a call from my agent saying this casting director wants to meet you for a project. We can't tell you what it is. It was an untitled Disney Plus project. That's literally what it was. Yeah. And they give you dummy scenes. So it's not Perrin scenes, but there's a scene between a husband and a wife. There was a scene they wrote, especially for the audition, which was like a breakfast scene, similar to the one we actually shot in season 1, but it's like husband and wife arguing over how he's been misbehaving and blah, 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 that sort of stuff. So I auditioned for it, and I got through that first round. Then I went to meet Tony Gilroy, the genius creator of the whole thing, and had a breakfast meet with him in Soho, early March 2020. Halfway through that meeting, during which he told me he wanted me to play this part and began to explain a little bit more about it. Halfway through that meeting, he got a call. Trump was about to shut down American borders because of the small matter of the coronavirus, and he literally got in his car, left the meeting. We were meant to start shooting in April. We didn't start shooting until the following March. I mean, so I got given the part, then we went into lockdown, and the lockdown went on and on and on and on and on.
It's Star Wars at this point.
And now I know it's Star Wars, yeah. But I haven't seen any script because they don't release that till the last minute. So for 6 months, I'm like on tenterhooks waiting to stop being into, because I'm so excited. I'm such a fan. And Rogue One was always my favourite of all the recent films. It always felt like it was the kind of truest, the grittiest. The writing's so good. And Tony Gilroy, I mean, he wrote what is probably my favourite film of all time, Michael Clayton, wrote and directed. So I'm very invested, yeah.
And when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, as a character, well, what's your take? I mean, so many people have so many different thoughts on Perrin. What's your take on Perrin? What do you think of that?
I think he's misunderstood. Yeah. I think Perrin is basically a man looking for love, and he doesn't get it from his wife, who's too preoccupied. I think the two of them are, in another world, they would be very much in love. They were in love back in the day. The events of the rebellion took over for Mon, so Perrin kind of gets left behind. So he's sort of long-suffering, really. And I think, for all of his outward appearances of being this sort of louche party boy, basically at the heart of it, I think he's a man who needs a cuddle.
He also seems to be a really good dad.
Yeah, he's a very good dad. And that's the other telling thing is, him and his daughter have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And if he was a out-and-out bad guy, she would not be wanting to seek his counsel as she does. So I think that's a really important point. He's a good dad. He's a loyal husband.
Yeah.
He's found himself in this situation that's sort of beyond his control. And, I think, just wants some loving.
It's brilliant writing, though, isn't it? Because in any other drama, he would so be cast as the black and white bad guy.
Yeah.
And yet here,
but that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, that's where Tony's so clever, because there's no, in life there is no black and white really. It's everything is so nuanced, and I mean that's what he managed to create in the backdrop, against the backdrop of Star Wars. He created a human drama. That's what this is. You're talking about flawed human beings. Just trying to do the right thing.
And is that what interested you? I mean, you're in Star Wars, that's great.
Yeah.
But you're an actor who wants to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
You're not just...
Well, when you start reading scripts written like this, it's what you do it for. Yeah. And then you start, and then you meet the costume designer, and then you meet the makeup artist, and you think, oh my God, what I'm doing is it's like a dream.
But I guess, as a fan of Star Wars for so many years, if they'd have stuck a blaster in his hand and said, shoot those stormtroopers, you'd probably...
I would have been delighted.
Well.
I have to say, when I tried on my costume for the first time and I had this kind of, these robes, I really, really thought, there's going to be a lightsaber in here, isn't there?
Totally. So do you have any more events lined up?
I'm doing, of these events, I'm doing Liverpool next week.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. If it's anything like this, yes. It's been lovely. It's just been so nice meeting people. And people make such an effort. They're all dressed up. It's great, yeah. It's brilliant.
Let you get back to your
Thanks, dude. Nice to meet you, yeah. Take it easy. Thank you.
Hi, this is Andy Seacombe, otherwise known as Watto. And you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
Great news if you like speed, and if you're a Star Wars fan, then why wouldn't you like speed? George certainly did, because coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox, XJS and PC in 2026, we've got Galactic Racer. It was announced at the Game Awards. It looks like the successor to Episode 1 Racer, very much in that vein. And at the very end of the trailer, the legendary Sebulba. What do you make of this? It looks like the sort of game whereby if you're playing it on the PlayStation 5 or whatever platform, hopefully, different people can play together. It kind of has that vibe to me anyway. I don't know the technical details. I don't know whether that much has been announced. But do you think you'll be giving Galactic Racer a go? I certainly will.
Man, I tell you what, so excited for this, so pumped. I've still got Episode 1 Racer on my PS5 because you can download it. I mean, it only cost me about like £9 or something from the PlayStation Network store like ages ago. Great fun. It's one of those things where, like, if they could like update the graphics, the game holds up. So having something like this is perfect. And, it looks like they've kind of expanded it. So, we've got Jakku and sequel trilogy environments and everything else. So it's going to bring it all more to life. And I think probably the obvious thing to do would be to have both a story mode, like a, single player race kind of thing, and PvP. But it looks gorgeous. And I mean, I'm still kind of chomping my way through Outlaws on the PS5, and that looks absolutely stunning. So this, I cannot wait for this. This will be a first day download for me.
There was a new collectible card game announced that's coming out fairly soon. Then you have Games Awards night, where no Lucasfilm projects won anything. Great Circle didn't pick up a win, but you get these great announcements. Galactic Racer, of course, Fate of the Old Republic as well. What are your feelings on that? I never really played a lot of role-play-based stuff back in the 90s and back in the day, in the 2000s. I was too busy running the website. But seeing this, Fate of the Old Republic, and I don't think it's going to come out for quite a while. I mean, this is
29, isn't it?
Yeah, 29. Yeah. So they've really sort of pitched forward in terms of their announcement, which I think is quite an exciting thing to do because we can follow the updates as we go. But they're bringing back Casey Hudson. Casey was involved in Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect trilogy as well. The trailer on this looks phenomenal as well. Suddenly we've gone from busy Lucasfilm Games time to insanely busy Lucasfilm Games time. But Fate of the Old Republic, what do you make of that?
Do you know what? That one is really cool because obviously, isn't Aspire who's meant to be kind of reporting the actual Knights of the Old Republic game?
That's the word.
Yeah, so that's still happening. So this, I'm guessing, isn't a reboot or anything like that. But yeah, to be fair, Knights of the Old Republic, again, that was a weird era that seemed to really gravitate to a lot of people. I don't remember playing it all that much. I remember playing a ton of Dark Forces mid to late 90s and then Star Wars Galaxies. I did play some of the Old Republic for the first, I don't know, maybe 5 years for that game. And that's still ticking along.
That's 12 years now, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, it's crazy, which is, again, fantastic. It's got its own kind of strong community. So, and I would love to kind of be able to dip back into that, but just don't have a time. Something like Racer, and that's a problem I find with Outlaws is that, some of the stuff takes a long time to do. So therefore, I have to kind of have a good sitting and free time to spend looking at the game and playing it. Whereas like Racer, you hopefully be able to kind of drop in and out. Whether or not this new one, Old Republic game, is going to be more open world than, say, like even Outlaws is. That's one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans are really looking to get into. And so, if we can get something like a Star Wars equivalent, say like Skyrim or something like that, then that will be fantastic. And hopefully, that would be a way for Star Wars games to start winning some awards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Outlaws, I think, was nominated at the Grammys for Best Soundtrack, as was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So there's nominations out there. Congratulations to John Williams as well for his Grammy nomination for the music of John Williams. But also, I think now, like you say about open world kind of stuff, Galaxies had that feel to it, even though it probably wasn't an actual traditional open world game. But it at least felt like you could go wandering off and sort of mooching around. And that was 20 years ago now, which is crazy, more than 20 years ago. And so technology moving forward at the speed it is, you've got to imagine by 2029, more advancements, more opportunities, capabilities, the speed and quickness of these games. And also, going back to Galactic Racer, you play on PS5. If I play it, I'll be playing it on this. I'll be playing it on my laptop, so PC essentially. Let's plan on making a Fantha racing team and see how we do when this comes out. Like I say, no date on when Galactic Race is coming out, but I think all of us are suitably excited. And same for Fate of the Old Republic. That's still 4 years away, near as damn it. But it's going to be interesting following the development of that as well.
For everything in one location, daily news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, video, and social media feeds, bookmark FanthaTracks.com for Star Wars news 24/7, 365.
Returning back to Surrey Star Wars weekend, I had the chance to sit down with Tomi May. Tomi was Sergeant Bloy in Season 2 of Andor. Fascinating fella, who's also, I didn't even know this until we started speaking, from my neck of the woods. So here's me and Tomi talking at Smugglers Star Wars weekend.
Right, we're here at Smugglers in Surrey. I'm here with Tomi. It's Saturday afternoon. There's people everywhere. How's the day been for you? Have you enjoyed it? How many events have you done before? Is this fairly earlier?
This is my first one. Right. So, and it's been great.
You've enjoyed it?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's I didn't know what to expect, and I got here this morning, and we were mobbed from when we was open, and it was great, and the energy from everyone's fantastic.
What did you expect, having not done this before? What did you expect from Star Wars fans? Did you expect it to be as interested in what you did?
No,
what was your anticipation?
I expected more cosplay, to be honest with you. I thought it was just going to be one of those, but it was. People are genuinely interested in the show, especially Andor, because it's Andor Day.
Yeah.
So that's very surprising.
When the role came to you and the opportunities being Star Wars came along, were you a fan before the opportunity?
Come on. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, who can forget them opening credits? I was. I was a fan. So, but I never watched any of the spin-offs.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I was the purest Star, you know what I mean? I don't know what you'd call someone like me that hasn't seen the spin-offs. I didn't think much of it, much of watching them.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? I thought maybe it's for the younger generation, but how wrong I was.
And when you got into this, every actor, they do their scenes, they do their sequences. You could tell, presumably you could tell pretty quickly that this isn't your regular, I'm waggling the air quotes, regular Star Wars. It's deeper, it's more, there's a lot more going on.
When I found out I'd got the role of Sergeant Bloy in Andor, I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it. So straight away I watched series 1, and I was like, bloody hell, this is brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It weren't what I expected at all. It was character driven. You know, I love the story arcs. I love all the different characters. It wasn't, you didn't have just, you know, your Darth Vader and your Luke Skywalker. It was a load of different characters and intertwining. I mean, it was lovely, and there's a bit of love story in there as well, do you know what I mean? So, and that got me, you know, so, yeah.
And isn't it weird that because Star Wars being what it is, the way it's constructed, that you can have, you sit next to Marty, so Marty's been in Mando, which is one thing, you've got Skeleton Crew, which is another.
Yeah, it's the world, it's the Star Wars world, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, and they go to different worlds, don't they? So, it's brilliant.
Yeah. So when you're on set, where was it that you filmed?
I filmed my scenes on the back lot of Pinewood, in Gorman.
Yeah.
You know, and they turned the whole of the back lot into Gorman, and it was amazing. They built this massive set, and I walked on, I was like, my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe it, and I was having to do that knock on the walls, and it was like, what is it, styrofoam, whatever. And I was like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? And then,
looks like you could drive a car.
But the floor was concrete, and all that platinum that was in the floor, and they built that monument in the middle. You know, it's like, wow. You know, it's just, and the hotel, that was amazing, the cafeteria, amazing, and our headquarters where we walked in, that was just superb, you know.
When you're in that set, it must be very easy to lose yourself.
You're immense, and it really helps to get into character, do you know, because you're in, like I said, you're in that world. Do you know what I mean? So if you believe in it and you believe in your character, you believe in the set, you know.
And what did you make of your character? What did you think of him as an officer?
I felt sorry for him, and I loved Tony Gilroy's writing. He brought humanity to him, because even though he's a sergeant for the dark side, he cared about his boys, cared about his men, and he knew he was walking into his own death, or a fate worse than that if he didn't. Do you know what I mean?
That's interesting, yeah.
You know, so it was hiding to nothing. And like I said, I reiterate, I like the humanity side of it, you know, because a lot of people, you know, when you're watching the baddies, you go, boo. But these baddies, them poor cadets, you know, it was, you could nothing but feel sorry for them.
And do you think he was wise enough an officer to kind of know, this is fish in a barrel, we're in the barrel?
Yeah, well, you can see what I mean. As soon as he walks out, I mean, that's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And then when it kicks off, it's like confusion. And you react, open fire, you know, because that's your orders. So,
you must be immensely proud of being in this.
Honestly, my boy keeps reminding me.
I'll bet.
I know.
And now it's Star Wars, you know, Star Wars is Star Wars. You get to do stuff like this. Is this something you'd be interested in doing?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's my first one, and I'm just overwhelmed by it all, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is so lovely, and everyone knows my character as well as I do, if not better. Do you know what I mean? They're telling me what they saw, and I'm like, I can't answer them. I'm going, that's lovely.
I think it's fascinating though when we'll have an opinion of a character, because that's what's presented to us. But it's always interesting to think, what do you think of your guy?
Well, I agree with everyone what they say, and I'm like, thank you. That's what I try to portray.
Yeah.
So for me, it's lovely to hear back from the fans that I hit the brief.
You did.
You know, so thank you very much. You know, yeah.
That's brilliant. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Oh, no worries. Cheers.
Fantha Tracks.
So it's always good to hear from Daisy Ridley, especially as the days seem to be stretching until we see her back on screen again as Rey Skywalker. But before then, we have had this year, probably the biggest news in Star Wars this year, Adam Driver announcing that him and Steven Soderbergh were working on a Star Wars film called The Hunt for Ben Solo that almost got made, but at the last second didn't. Daisy, it turns out, knew a little bit about this. And here's a quote from a conversation with her recently. She says, I knew a piece of it. I heard rumblings. I have lots of friends who are crew, so things like that always travel. But whoa, when the story came out, no, I was like, oh my God. And it was him that said it right. It was funny because, oh wow, Adam is saying it. That's the big surprise of the year. I thought that was hilarious, the fact that she would be so surprised that Adam Driver would say this. And she continues, I do love when there's a collective of positivity. The way the internet seems to have rallied to try and get it to happen. I think, one, it's fantastic for us all. It's going to be good for us all to be united about something in a really positive way. Obviously, everyone knows he was a very popular character, but it was also lovely to think, wow, people really, really care and want this. I like it when people join forces, excuse the pun, from all around the world, all different sorts of people. I just love that the Star Wars fandom is such a huge and gorgeous array of different points of view and different people, and the fact that everyone is really behind this thing. I think it's just sort of lovely in a time that is so effing nuts for probably every single person on this earth. I think it's wonderful. So I was surprised, and honestly, I felt joyful about how it went down. Well, the way it went down was that the film isn't happening. Ray and Daisy will not be making an appearance in the film, but... what do you make of her comments on that? She's very positive about the fandom, but she has been kind of away from it for a while. And she's shocked that Adam Driver would be the guy that not only does this, but talks about it. I just thought it was just a really cool collection of comments from Daisy.
Yeah, very positive. I mean, I suppose she's got to play the game, hasn't she? And she's got to be supportive. What you wouldn't want would be Daisy Ridley thought that the Ben Solo film idea was utter effing fire, you know? Yeah, as in like it's effing nuts, because why would you want that to happen? You know, so she's got to, you know, she's got to play supportive, but it does make sense, you know, because for all we know, who knows what the future may hold for Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley when it comes to a Star Wars film. It's probably something that she was expecting people to ask her about eventually. So short and to the point and concise answer like this one.
I just wonder going forward with projects like this, whether or not the appearance of Rey in a film, let's say, I don't know, Starfighter, it's set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. So if Rey turned up in Starfighter, would we be absolutely bowled over, shocked to the core if that happened? Or Finn, or Poe? Maybe more shocked if Kylo turned up if we hadn't known about the hunt for Ben Solo. Exactly that. But my point is do you think that she and Lucasfilm even are thinking more single, standalone stories with the characters rather than, well, this Rey film, you know, if it does $1 billion, you know that's going to become a trilogy in this classic Star Wars sense? Or do you just think, we'll have Rey turn up in this film, we'll have Poe turn up in that film? Do you think that's more the way they're thinking? Because the way she talks, that's the vibe I'm getting.
I think that's probably quite a sensible way. And I think at the moment, as fans, we can only comment on what we see, but it kind of feels like the franchise is slightly directionless at the moment. I know we've got films coming out, but it doesn't feel like, you know, we're heading somewhere. So it will be a nice way and a sensible way to introduce these or reintroduce these characters into new films. Maybe even just use it as a marketing exercise in terms of like trying to work out where people are getting behind which characters for having box office traction, and which I know is really dull and dry and not the way we really want to create. But ultimately, from a studio and for the cost of films being so expensive these days, you kind of want to make sure that if you're going to put your money where your mouth is that you're pretty guaranteed to get close to that $1 billion if you can't break it. So having that in will make it a lot more easier for the fans and like the filmmakers to have that kind of saga vibe without necessarily creating a trilogy, and it keeps it safe. And I think actually for us it's quite fun, isn't it? Like if people kind of drop in and out and that, and it's a bit Marvel in some respects. I think, you know, you kind of get like a main lead. I mean, like, you know, somebody from the MCU sticks a head in and kind of helps save the day. But I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I don't necessarily think it would make the galaxy feel too small. I think it will make it feel connected.
That's a great point, because it's a little bit like Lord of the Rings was always going to be a trilogy, even though I think New Line originally wanted to do 2, and then Jackson said it's got to be a trilogy. And then you look at something like The Hobbit, which should have just been one film, and they stretched it out to 3. If you write a Star Wars story that is one single thing that lives on its own as its own entity, not necessarily the requirement to stretch it out to be any more than that.
My name is Kiriana Crater, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
So our final interview for the day is we head back to Surrey Star Wars Weekend and a conversation between Paul Naylor and Eugene Lin. Eugene was an Imperial Security Trooper in Season 2 of Andor. So here's Paul and Eugene talking all about Eugene's experiences.
With Eugene Lin, who played an Imperial Security Officer, is that correct? Yeah, in Andor. You won't be able to see this, folks, obviously because it's audio, but he's got a fantastic mocked-up figure that he's had specially made for himself. That's brilliant. So how did that come about? Who did you get to do that?
So the body figure is a standard one from the Black Series.
Yeah.
And then I had the head digitally sculpted in Spain.
Yeah.
Printed in the UK.
Yeah.
Shipped over to the US to paint by a specialist Star Wars painter.
Brilliant.
Who then mounted it on the body for me. And then the shield was a custom I worked with a 3D artist on Etsy. Because in the actual show itself, you don't get a full view of the shield.
No,
so a lot of it was drawn from memory, including the inside of the shield.
How it holds onto the arm.
How it holds onto the arm. Because people assume that it was just one handle. It's actually one Velcro, one handle, screwed into a piece of wood, into a fiberglass shield, which was really heavy. And that's available to buy. And
That's amazing.
The base was from a fan who designed it.
That is so cool. So that's a very well-travelled figure.
Yes.
It's been everywhere. So what are your memories of working on the show? Was it a good time?
It was a difficult time, as in challenging, not as in unpleasant.
Yeah.
The hours were ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Very cold. For season 1, the Ferrix riots, that was about 2.5 weeks to film.
Yeah.
For the Gorman massacre, it was about 6 weeks in total.
Wow.
Of which 4 weeks were the actual massacre, and then the explosions was 2 days, and after that we did pickups towards the end.
Did you play the same character?
Yes, it's the same character, just different weapons. So season 1, I had the shield and the baton, and season 2 was the E11 blaster.
Right. So, after you'd finished work on season 1, to be called back for season 2, I expect you were thrilled to know that you're going to be in it again.
Very thrilled. Wasn't a guarantee because actually the whole production team from season 1 and season 2 changed completely. So it was a case of, will they call me, will they not call me? I happened to know someone in production who was working on season 2 and said, look, here's my resume. I did season 1. I know the costume. I know how painful it is.
It fits.
I know it fits. I'm not going to drop out. Please have me back. And thankfully, I'm one of only 2 people that made it back.
Wow.
Some of my other season 1 friends made it back in different characters. Like they were in Mon Mothma's wedding.
Like at the party. Yeah. Wow, fantastic. And are you working on anything else at the moment?
Right now, not a Star Wars related project, but a Marvel project.
Okay, you probably can't talk about it.
Let's say it's a big one, but that's all I can say.
And have you been in the business for a long time?
This is my 7th year so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this something that you always wanted to do, or you fall into it by luck?
I did do a bit of musical theatre before, when I was much younger, but then I had a career in fashion. And then ended that, and then I was looking for something else to do, and then just sort of fell into this.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, how have you found today?
Today's been great. I like that it's quite low-key, it's quite small.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
It's less pressured compared to the big events, which can kind of feel like you're dashing from one famous painting to another famous painting. And you're given your 8 seconds and you're pushed off. You can actually talk to people here, which is quite nice.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah. I love coming to events like this, because like you say, it's a lot more personal, and you get to actually have some interesting conversations with the fans. And Andor has been so special to the Star Wars community. I think Andor it's up there as like probably the best of Star Wars.
I would agree.
Yeah. And you're very fortunate to have been in both seasons. There's not many people can say that. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I hope you've had a great day.
Thank you.
And safe travels.
Thank you.
Not as far as you figure.
Yep. He will be coming with me on future shows.
I should think so too. It's absolutely brilliant.
And before we go, Paul also had a quick word with a very, very famous Wookiee. So here's Paul Naylor interviewing Chewbacca at Star Wars Surrey weekend.
So Chewbacca, how are you finding the event today? Do you miss Han Solo? Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, mate. We all feel for you, but it's been lovely chatting with you. Have a nice day. Thank you, Chewie.
Wow, over the 8 odd years Fantha Tracks has been going, I know you guys have done some fantastic interviews, but that Chewbacca interview is probably up there with some of the best.
Oh, yeah. I'm proud to say that we are the site that can host that interview between Paul and Chewie. what pertinent questions Paul asked, and what wonderful answers Chewie gave. I couldn't be prouder of the team right now.
So if you want to hear other fine examples of journalism like that, then make sure you stick around for more episodes of Making Tracks. Now, we are coming up very close to the end of the year, so we want some listeners' questions to answer on our last episode of the year. So get your listeners' questions in relation to Star Wars and also what you want to see in 2026. Or any other question for or theory. You can do that, and Mr. Newbold can tell you how you can get in touch.
I am going to do exactly that. We'll get that questionnaire out to our listeners ASAP, and here's how you can get in touch.
Email radio@fanthatracks.com. Head to links.fanthatracks.com for links to our social media feeds, Fantha Tracks TV and Fantha Tracks Radio. Thanks to James Semple for the Fantha Tracks intro, Blues Harvest for our Making Tracks opening music, and Mark Daniel and Vanessa Marshall for our voiceovers. New episodes drop Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 o'clock UK time. Our weekly news show Good Morning Tatooine goes live Sundays at 9 o'clock UK time on Facebook and YouTube. And remember, Fantha Tracks is absolutely free, so it costs nothing to stay updated on all the latest Star Wars news.
And that's me done for this episode. Only one more to go. Can't wait already.
Excellent. So, thanks for that, dude. I will catch up with you again very, very soon for another episode of Making Tracks. So, until next week, everybody stay safe, take care, and que la force soit avec vous. May the force be with you.
Oh, well done.
Coming up next on Fantha Tracks Radio, it's Planet Leia.
Probably the class to the episode right at the very end of it.